Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Rico gang, what is going on? I'm back with another video. So, as you know, we're out in Dubai. When you're in another country, obviously you want to go do fun stuff. So, me being the genius that I am, decided, why don't we go explore in the desert, you know? Dubai, Middle East, it's all desert. Sounds great, right? Maybe not so much. We, went a little bit too far and we got lost. We ran out of water. The car got stuck like 12 freaking times. We didn't think we were gonna make it back. It was bad. But before I get too into this story, let me just go back. Let me start from the beginning, because I think you guys are gonna want to hear this. Where did we start? It was like, what time was it? We were supposed to wake up at like 8 in the morning, and we ended up waking up at like 11 in the afternoon. It was supposed to be our desert day trip, you know, whatever, you know, just a couple guys going out into the desert, you know, with the car, you know, dealing with nature. It would have been so sick. It was such a good idea in theory, you know what I'm saying? But I guess we didn't really end up planning or anything of that nature. So anyways, we woke up at like 11 in the morning, pack up all our stuff, get the water bottles, get in the car. We think we're ready, we're set. We meet up with the boys, and we're supposed to be going to this abandoned city, like abandoned village in the middle of the desert. Like, I'm not from here. I don't know how bad the desert is. We got all confident. We thought we were sick, you know what I'm saying? We took 2 cars, we went down. We drove like, I want to say like an hour down into the middle of, I mean, I don't even remember, to be honest, but it was an hour out. There was really nothing. All you see as you're driving by is like little shacks, little villages, like little plazas, nothing like remotely like a city. It's literally the middle of nowhere. And I swear we're driving for 30 minutes. I look left and right. All you see is sand, dunes. Like, where are we? And I knew dead ass from that moment on, nothing went right. So we put it in on Google Maps, we mark the location, we get in the car, we're driving there, we're going, we see the nothingness, we see the desert, we're scared, blah, 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 blah. Well, actually, no, we're excited. And eventually we get to the point, like the little entrance in the desert. You go to the road, you pull over to the side, there was like little parking spots, but there was nobody there. Like, why would there be parking spots and then nobody's, it doesn't make any sense. We go in, we stop the car. The car I was in was not the right car to be driving on in the sand, let's just say that. And our friend brought a different car, also not meant for driving in the sand, but we would find that out later. Now, he told us that his cousin's been driving around in the desert dunes for forever, and oh, it's so fun and so easy, and oh, I got this down, like, don't worry, I got my truck, I got my SUV, like, we're good, we're good. And we hop up, and we're all like, yeah, like, we're all confident, like, we're ready for this trip, like, it was so easy, it was sick, we got our water, we're set up. We hop in this car, and we set off into the middle of the desert. Now, I don't know if you guys know, but, I mean, you can't drive on sand. Like, you know, I don't know, I'm from Canada and there's bare snow everywhere. And if you've ever driven on snow or ice, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You drive and it slips absolutely everywhere. You literally can't get anywhere. Now imagine that, but it's sand. And it's not like snow that, like, you know, compresses and gets good. No, it's like horrible, horrible, absolutely horrible. Now, when you first get off the road into the desert, you'll see that there's like 2 kinds of sand. There's the orangey sand, and then there's this like dark black gray sand, and it's not really sand, it's like gravel. And I guess whoever made this village in the middle of nowhere was smarter than we were and decided to put gravel on the sand, because obviously it's the only way you're gonna get the car through the freaking desert, through the dunes. There's absolutely no way you're, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're not driving freaking Jeeps, ATVs, we're driving, I'll put a picture. Okay. At first, it wasn't too bad, you know? You get off the road. I mean, it was on Google Maps. There was a road on Google Maps, and we're like, okay, like, Google Maps knows this gravel is exactly where it's supposed to be. So we start heading down. We're confident, we're happy, we're excited. The music is blasting, the heat is on. Now, let me preface this by saying none of us have ever driven in the desert, and none of you should ever try in the desert either. Horrible idea. We're in the, it's too late to go back. Like, I'm not going back. It's been 30 minutes. And there's only like sparse little pieces of gravel here and there. You gotta go around, ooh, through the dunes, all this garbage. Somehow, believe it or not, we found little dirt roads, little gravel. You know, we had to go, it was, you know, it wasn't a straightforward way. You know what I'm saying? You go left, right, U-turn, here, up there, down there. 100,000 circles, but, we made it. And let me tell you, this abandoned village was sick. It was way too nice. Actually, like, let me throw some footage on here for you. It was literally like a whole village in the middle of the desert, completely abandoned. Nobody was there, nobody was there. Like, I was yelling top of my lungs, dancing in the middle of the sand. Nothing. All these houses were filled with freaking sand, like covered. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen, and honestly, I wish I had taken more pictures, but I was sweaty and gross from the desert, and I'm not taking pictures like that, because they're not going anywhere. We checked the weather, which, I mean, I don't know why we didn't think of checking earlier. It was 48 degrees Celsius. For all you American people, that's like almost 120 degrees. I swear, like, you can cook eggs. You can cook eggs at that temperature. We're trying to take it one step at a time, you know what I'm saying? We take a 2-minute walk, we get to the village. By then, we're literally already exhausted because of the heat and everything else. So we start going to these different little houses, these little village huts. Basically, like, I mean, I can't really tell you there was much to see. It was like boxes where people used to live, and there's absolutely nothing in them. And and it was all covered in sand. And it was really nice, super Instagrammable, let's put it that way. But I don't know, it was just beautiful. I really wish I took more photos, more videos for you guys, but honestly, that's not even the main part of the story. That was the good part. We were having fun, it was hot, we were melting, but you know, get a nice tan on, you know, got the sunscreen, we got some water left at the time. It was all worth it, like it was sick. It was one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my life. And then we decided to leave. And it was at that moment that we remembered the car was stuck. Why we decided to leave it stuck there for an extended period of time, I don't know. But at that point, we were freaking exhausted. I don't know how in the world this happened, but right next to the car were like 3 pieces of plywood, like giant pieces of just plywood in the middle of the desert, just giant pieces of plywood. And now our tires were like this deep into the sand. We're spinning, we're pressing the gas, we're not going anywhere. We need traction. There's no grapple, it's just sand. So we find these pieces of plywood and our Canadian driving in ice skills pop in. We know how to deal with this. You know, we grab the plywood, we put it behind the tires, bing, bam, boom, push the gas, bam, we're out of there. And we think we're scot-free, you know, we just checked out the abandoned city and lit, like we just got out of the sand. Now we just gotta, you know, retrace our steps, go back to where we came from, go home, you know, shower, you know, we're all sweaty, like I'm good. But it was not that simple. Oh boy, it was not that simple. Yeah. So we start driving towards where we think our cars were parked, towards where we think society was. We were wrong. We were not correct, I'll tell you that. We were driving in circles for like 30 minutes and we had absolutely no clue. You know when we noticed? When we thought we were like 90% of the way there and we turn our heads and the stupid village is like right beside us. We're dying of thirst, dying of heat in the middle of the desert with nobody around and we've been driving in circles, we have no way out. You can imagine the panic starting to set in a little bit. But yo, you know, keep the nerves calm, you know, we're all good. Don't stress, we're making it out of here, you know what I'm saying? Now, as you can see, our friend the Desert Whisperer was trying to guide us out of here and we thought we were on the right track, you know? We just drove in circles for 30 minutes, we realized that, you know, we're smart, boom, we took it in, no more driving in circles, we're going home. I don't know if you guys have heard the expression shifting sands, but it comes from the fact that sand freaking shifts, okay? And we didn't think about this at the time, but the way that we came in, we went through this one dune that was like super steep. It was the only way to the village, so we just pushed it. And what we didn't realize is that you could go over it towards the village, but away from the village was a different story. Now, here's what happened. We're going full speed. We're all happy. We're in the car. Woo, you know, bumping the music, all this, all that. Boom. We go up this dune. All I feel is all the pit of my stomach go zoom. All of us are in the car like floating. I smashed my head on the top of the roof. We caught air, like 6 feet of air. We were driving off sand ramps and we smashed on the ground. My ass is like, oh, and everybody's like, oh, we thought we broke the car. So we hop out of the car, we check it, the wheel well goes flying, the license plate came off the car, it's in the middle of nowhere, and we're convinced that we're screwed. The car's done, it's broken, we're not leaving here. We're dying in the desert with no water and nobody here to save us. After soaring over a freaking dune, almost killing ourselves, we realized, you know, we can't just be driving blind over these dunes. So we started, you know, adopting some strategy. We're like, okay, one of us gonna get out of the car and guide the other ones. You know, if we get like a higher vantage point, we can see where we can actually drive, where we're gonna make it closer and where we're gonna get stuck. And we were doing that for a while and it seemed sick. We're like, yeah, we gotta figure it out. Like, you know, we got the route going, like we're getting there. It's gonna be sick, like we're back, baby. Now in the midst of all these millions of U-turns and lefts and rights, we got stuck again and again and again. We were masters, like we weren't even scared of getting stuck at this point because every single time we were able to push the car out. But the problem is, you're lost in the 48-degree desert with no sunscreen on at this point because it all ran out. You're burning. Like I literally got a burn under my toe. The sand got stuck in my sandal, under my toes, and it burnt my toes. Like a burn, like a lighter burn, like fire. We've been running around in the middle of the desert, guiding ourselves out of it, pushing cars, pushing this car. Like, I don't think you guys understand the strength it takes to push a car in the sand. Like, you think your feet, like you can't, it's hard to walk in the sand. Imagine pushing a car in the sand. We swear we're so close to the cars, we're not. And we're freaking exhausted. We're dehydrated, we're dying. My boy Jamal's like, ooh, passing out in the front seat because he's been running around in the desert like a freaking Ninja Gaiden, like going around the dunes trying to figure out the way out. Where are we? I don't know. And we started getting a little too confident. Because, let me tell you, we drove up this one dune. Just one dune. You know, we were so close. It was one dune. It was the only one we could drive up. And we got stuck. And at this point, we weren't even worried. We were like, we got stuck like 20 times. We pulled the car out of this place like 20 times. Like, we're fine. We were not fine. We couldn't get it out. Like actually, like we were pushing. We tried pushing it backwards. We tried pushing it forwards. We tried rocking the car. We tried gassing it. We tried going slow. We tried putting it in neutral. We tried digging out the tires. We tried everything. Now at this point, and I know I've said it a million times, but hopes were running a little low. And we ran out of water, okay? So we're in the desert, boiling heat, stuck in the sand, running out of water, 47 degrees, 11 index. Like, we're done. We're literally done. Look, we need to get out of the car, find a way out of here. Hopefully we can walk there, you know, we can do something. This car is not going anywhere anytime soon. So I grab my stuff, you know, bandana on, like I'm boiling hot, and we start heading out through the desert, ladies and gentlemen. Now, as I'm walking down, I see this little hut. I go check it out. You know, I'm wasting time at this point. And there was nothing there. All hope is being lost. We still see the camels, so we know we're at least relatively close. I turn around to go look back at the car, and the hood is open. I'm like, it's more messed up than it was before. So I run back over the dunes to go check on the car. I don't know how in the world this happened. Some random guy just so happened to be in the middle of nowhere on his ATV. Like, how? Somebody knew we were lost and sent this guy, I swear. We're like, oh, yo, God, please help us. He's like, oh, what's going on? Like, why is a Mercedes SUV in the middle of the desert? Well, you know that can't drive around here. We're like, yeah, we knew that. He comes in and he tells us, did you guys think of deflating the tires a bit? Yeah, like deflating the tires a bit. We're like, and he's like, you've never deflated the tires a bit? And then it hit me. If you have no traction, deflate the tires a little bit. It makes them squishy and it helps you go. In the midst of being terrified, nobody thought of this. Anyways, the guy comes, he has a little, you know, I don't even know what the hell he used. He goes, he deflates our tires a bit, and he helps us push it out of the sand. At this point, there's a crack in the fuel tank at the bottom of the car. The license plate is gone. One of the wheel well covers is gone. The suspension is messed up. The alignment, like, to drive straight, the steering wheel was like this. So you're like, oh, yeah, the whole thing was messed up. But still, he dug us out of the sand. And he's like, guys, you wanna get out of the desert? Follow me. I'm like, what? Our savior. We hop in the car and start following him down the road. Only then did we realize how easy it was to get out if you knew the way. But us being idiots, we're driving around in circles for what seemed like forever. Meanwhile, we're literally 10 minutes away from the exit. Tell me how we were 10 minutes away from the exit and we didn't know how to go there. And this guy just goes, oh, it's this way. And we're out. Guys, I'm telling you, if it wasn't for this guy, I don't know what would have happened. We had all lost hope of ever getting out. We were contemplating calling the police to come save us on a helicopter. Like, I swear, like, I'm not even, like, you know, they have Uber choppers here. They have Uber helicopters. We're like, does Uber helicopter here? I hope so, because we're freaking done. Now, this guy, you saved us from dying in the desert. We made it out. We got some gas. We got some water. And we vowed never, ever to drive into the desert without somebody who knows what they're doing. And I don't know. That's my story of how I got lost in the desert. I can probably tell you it's gonna be the most exciting thing I do this whole trip. I hope it's the most exciting thing I do all trip, because I don't want to do that ever again. Now, if you guys like that story and want to hear more, hopefully I'll have more. I am sure I will. Leave a like, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Have you ever been lost in a desert? Have you ever thought you were gonna die of heat stroke in the middle of nowhere when you got stranded for no reason because you made stupid decisions and got into the car and went into the middle of the desert for no reason when you know you wouldn't be able to make it out? Because if so, leave me a comment. And if not, leave me a comment anyways. Subscribe, click that bell icon. I want to share everything with you guys. I want you to see more about all the crazy stuff we're doing out here. And yeah, I'll leave you with one final thought. Don't ever drive into the desert, okay? All right, peace, bye.